Usually that's how I wake up, regardless if the windows roll.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for all coming out tonight. At this time, I'll call to order the regularly scheduled board meeting for the Village of Midlothian, Wednesday, August 14th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Roll call, please. Clerk Moscow.
Trustee Burbett?
Here.
Trustee Cavey?
Here.
Trustee Crowley?
Here.
Trustee Hilly?
Here.
Trustee Johnson?
Here.
Trustee Killily?
Here.
Mayor LaRue?
Here.
You have a quorum, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please let the record reflect that Trustee Caveney is attending by phone due to illness. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for our fallen veterans. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we move on with our meeting tonight, we have the distinct pleasure of swearing in a new full-time police officer to the Village of Midlothian. It's all for you. Okay. Officer Miller, would you please come forward?
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Richard Miller,
Having been appointed
having been appointed
to the position
to the position
of full-time probationary police officer
of full-time probationary police officer
in the Village of
in
Midlothian
the Village of Midlothian
in the County of Cook,
in the County of Cook,
aforesaid do solemnly swear
aforesaid do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the Village of Midlothian,
and the ordinances of the Village of Midlothian,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the position
of the position
of probationary full-time police officer
of probationary full-time police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Yeah, my wife Jennifer. You know what? One more person too.
We have plenty of time for pictures too, so don't. You want to get a picture of the whole 100?
You guys come out.
We'll take one here. Take one first.
Okay. So if I could say one thing, another special guest and somebody I hope really close to my heart is with us tonight. The mother of fallen Chicago police officer Ariana Preston. Her mother Deanna is here with us.
He was not going to get left.
Yeah, right? Thank you for coming.
Sorry.
Oh, gosh.
Here, you go ahead, Sam.
That's my hand on the butt.
Good.
Thank you. And that's all right. He was supposed to stay back there, so.
Thank you all.
Wait.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard. Congratulations again.
Officer Miller, thank you for joining the Midlothian Police Force. We appreciate it. And as we always say, you guys are welcome to stay for the entire meeting if you'd like, but if you're not, now would be a good time to.
See you guys have a good night.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All right, moving on with the meeting. At this time, I will open the floor to public comment. Is there any public comment tonight? Seeing there's no public comment, I will close the floor to public comment and move on to tonight's consent agenda. On tonight's consent agenda, number 1, approval of resolution number 240814A, a supplemental resolution for the village's 2022 street. Is that right? 2022?
Yes.
2022 street resurfacing program, section number 220036-00-RS, pertaining to the resurfacing of 143rd Street between Cicero Avenue and Pulaski Road. Number 2, approval of bid award for the 2023-2024 CDBG MFT street resurfacing program, section number 24-00038-00-RS. Number 3, approval of the 2023 annual financial report. Number 4, approval of the June 2024 Building Department monthly report. Number 5, approval of the July 24th, 2024 board meeting minutes. Number 6, approval of the July 24, 2024 closed session meeting minutes. And number 7, approval of the list of bills as any item any trustee would like off of tonight's consent agenda. Hearing no dissension, I'm looking for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda as read.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please. Clerk Moscow.
Trustee Crawley.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Burbatt.
Aye.
Trustee Caveney.
Aye.
Trustee Hilly.
Aye.
Trustee Killily.
Present.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to trustee business, trustee Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one thing tonight, as I talked about for the last couple of weeks, we're having our community picnic on Sunday at the Village Green from 2 to 6 p.m. We have a lot of things planned, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the departments, the police department, the fire department, Public Works, for helping us get ready for it. We think that it's going to be a really great time. We've got lots of activities, we've got food, we've got a phone machine, and I want to thank you guys all for helping us get ready for it. I'd also like to thank the Park District for providing us tables and chairs so that we can have spaces for people to sit. So looking forward to it. I'd like to thank Dr. Kalia, you're now Dr. Don, for offering to help to volunteer during the event. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you have a couple hours and want to come by, it's supposed to be 82 and sunny, so please stop by the green. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Burbatt?
Just want to say thank you to everybody involved with the Charity Classic. The Midlothian School District had a really good time. That's all I've got for tonight.
Yes, they had a really good time. Thank you,
Yes, we
sir.
did.
Trustee Hilly?
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Caveney?
I have nothing, Mayor.
All right, well, feel better soon, will you?
Thank you.
All right, trustee Kilby?
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I have a funny feeling here. E-Pay is a great system, and it will reduce the fee that charge card customers pay from 3 to 2.25%, and operationally, it's much better for the back end. Also, it should be more convenient for the customer, except for one thing. I just got this before the meeting, and Deputy Clerk Harris was nice enough to give me all this information, but I don't know if it change anybody's mind that we should take a longer look at this, but it looks like for debit charges, per month, this is 1 month, in January of '23, there, looks like there were, for the front office looks like 150 people, roughly, without knowing for sure, but roughly 150 people use their debit card. Does that change anybody? If that happens now, they're gonna be paying 2.25%. Now, they do have the option of doing an e-check, which is, you know, from their bank or having it deducted on, or online, and that would, and that wouldn't cost them anything.
The people that pay by debit card online pay a fee.
We're not accepting, well, they can pay debit card online, but they're gonna be paying 2.25%.
Right, so all this does is make it so that if you come in and pay, it's the same as what it would be if you paid online.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, I'm just saying that there's 150 people that paid in the front office, and they,
They get a 2.25% reduction for coming in and paying.
no, oh, no, it's 70.
That's what you said.
It's, they don't pay, they don't, Miss Sarah,
That's what
educate,
it
they don't
equates
pay,
to.
they
Equates to.
don't, do they pay 2.25%
Debit and credit would be 2.2.
at the front office, or, no?
No,
If we go to e-pay, they're not paying their currently.
No, I understand, that's what I'm
they're
saying,
paying 2.25% less than the people who pay online by credit card
yes,
because they come in. So
right,
it actually generates more work for the front office.
it does,
And they get it for less money.
I
It
think,
hasn't changed my mind.
I think the one thing that we need to remind ourselves and let the residents know is that this is not a charge from the village.
Right.
This is the charge that is
From
from
the
the
credit
credit
card
card company.
right, we're just reimbursed,
And so we're only passing on what we're getting charged.
Right.
We're not, there's no revenue generation, there's no
Right.
extra funds that come to the village. This is not something that we did. The thousands of dollars that we were getting hit, was causing us to be shorter in our water fund because we were paying it out of these funds for
Right.
fees. We
Right.
just can't afford to do that. So
Okay.
I think that, you know,
so
we have to be
everybody's,
fair across the board to
Yeah.
everybody.
yeah, everybody's okay if they have another option to do what they're doing now, except it's gonna be online.
Well,
Okay.
I'd rather not have a fee, but if the credit cards
There isn't
companies
a-
are gonna charge us fees,
Yeah.
then we have to pay them.
We're not passing on a fee to people who pay e-checks online. There is no fee for e-checks
Right,
online.
but that's because we're not charged a fee.
Well,
for
we
that.
are, yes.
I thought we were charged for
55,
e-checks.
yes,
It's 55 cents.
55 cents.
50 cents for e-pay.
right, and it would be 50 cents with e-pay.
In our discussion last week is we're gonna pass that 50 cents along.
Right.
to the customer.
I thought that's what we discussed
Well,
last week.
right now, we don't. And so
I
what
know, we
what
discussed it
I'm,
last week in committee, I thought that's what,
but the
It should
debit
be fair
card,
across the board.
for the
Any
debit
fees
card
that are
users, they
imposed-
weren't, for the debit card users, that's the same fee, or actually a little higher, but they weren't paying that fee either. And
But
the
today,
e-check
going
fee-
forward, what are we gonna do? That's, I guess, because.
Right now, what we're going to do is implement the e-pay system and let the finance committee figure out the rest of it. But right now, we don't. Right now, we don't charge e-check or debit any fee.
Why do we,
And
to be
basically,
equitable
there's,
across the board, we should be passing along the fee, no matter what the means of payment is. Then
okay,
everybody is paying the fees involved with making their
okay.
payment.
They
So-
can still pay by check every month like some people do.
Or
with-
cash.
Or cash
But
without a fee.
we're trying to sort of eliminate people going to the front office.
Well, no, but if we send it, if we, like mine, sometimes I do so much per month.
Yes,
Then you know, there's sometimes the year I know my water bill's gonna higher, so I'll pay so much per month.
Yes,
So that
yes.
it doesn't, but there's no fee for that, correct?
there is no fee for that.
Okay.
In fact, it'll make it easier for people to do that.
Right, that's what we were hoping, is that people would have
But right
an
now,
easier
you
time
know,
and they'd have an option.
What I'd like to do is move forward with the e-pay system because it's going to save people who are paying by credit cards, which are substantial, there's a substantial number of people paying by credit card. And it's saving them a lot of money. And then let the finance committee at their next meeting, hopefully we'll have, you know, when I looked at this statement, there's a lot of charges we didn't know about. Thank you for giving us all these statements here. Now we can sort of plow through them and figure out what we actually, you know, how this actually works out. And then the Finance Committee can figure out whether they want to pass that on or not. If we wanted to pass that on, we could pass it on. But it's up to, right now, it's going to take about a month to implement e-pay, and so they could do it either way.
Implementation notwithstanding, it sounds like everybody's already in agreement that the fees should be what the fees are. And that should be passed
Yes,
along to.
the finance
the
committee is
person.
here.
Right.
So we don't,
We don't need to, I
we
mean,
don't
I
really
agree.
need to have a meeting
About that.
about that. Maybe we can't implement that immediately,
We
but
could.
we're all in agreement that
We
that's
could
where we
we
want
could
to get.
implement whatever, e-pay will program whatever we want.
And I do think that, Trustee Johnson, didn't you guys do a flyer a year or two ago, a couple years ago, about paying your water bill and the fees and stuff? Maybe we could update that and put
Yes.
that in the water bills for the next few months so people understand that.
Right. And Don, just to remind you, when I first got on the board, Maggie did an analysis. For 3 years, we paid $90,000
No.
in credit card fees.
No, well, that's reimbursed. This is something different, and
No, this is what we paid the company. for the
Before we
plant.
implemented the fees.
before we implement it. Now, what
So-
we're talking about as far as what you're talking about, everybody got the spreadsheet from Deputy Clerk Harris, right?
Yes.
So that's not that much money. Okay. I don't want any, I think I would not want any disincentive to have people not pay online, but if and it's not that much money, theoretically, but it's not 50 or 55 cents here. There's a lot of extra fees here all over the place. Like just
But we're
look-
going away from that. So I mean, the new
We don't, well, I like to think we're going away from that,
I'm
but
starting to understand why he wants to have the meeting.
there's a lot of things that,
Trustee Kelly's the only dissenting vote.
yeah, so that's fine. If you want to go forward in whatever the fees are, which I don't know how we're going to apply these fees, there's a volume rate, something.
Donna,
This is the old stuff. This is not
This
going
is
to be.
integrity, but
But the
that
new
doesn't mean
system
when
is
we
good.
see e-pay that some of this might crop up too.
Well, but I
We don't
think
know.
that's our responsibility to make sure we stay on top of that going forward.
It's due diligence. We need to really monitor those monthly.
We can monitor
statements.
when e-pay comes through after a few months and find out how everything shakes out.
And we want to make it equitable. We shouldn't be paying the fees for some people and not paying the fees for other
Correct.
people. Everybody should be paying the fees associated
Okay.
with their
So it
transaction.
sounds like there's two.
We're bringing it down for the vast
We are.
majority of people.
That's a lot.
And quite a bit.
It's a lot.
But we shouldn't be supplementing people and not supplementing other people.
Okay.
Agreed.
So
Trustee
we
Kelly,
would
you
like
put
to make
that-
a motion that we would implement the new e-pay system and also add to the convenience fees any transaction charges or any bank charges for processing that charge. Or e-check. You e-check also, right?
Is that sufficient?
Was that a clear enough motion?
Because e-check has a charge too. Then you're making everybody equal, then I guess.
I mean,
I think
what's on the
we should
agenda-
stop and think about this a second, but that's fine.
But what's on the agenda is just to approve
The e-pay.
e-pay. So why don't we just stick with that for
Why don't we
now?
just stick with that for now?
Because-
Okay.
The rest of it.
All right, so I'll make a motion to.
Deputy Clerk Harris has to do the minutes, and that was a very tough motion to.
That was a very hard motion. So we're going to change to e-pay credit card processing and online processing.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any more discussion? Roll call, please, Clerk Moskowitz.
Trustee Killily.
Aye.
Trustee Hilly.
Aye.
Trustee Burbett.
Aye.
Trustee Caveney.
Aye.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And thankfully, I do not have any other business tonight.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Crowley.
Thank you, sir. Just a quick update tonight on a few of our grants. We spoke to Chief Delaney today, and we are waiting to hear on the grant that we applied for body cams for the new Illinois state mandate for all officers to wear body cams. We're hoping to hear for that, but it is looking good, so we're excited about that. I also want to thank all the departments. We have a number of grants that we're working on right now. The fire department, Deputy Chief McClellan has really put out a few grants that are going to be helpful with some of our equipment. The police department is also working on another grant for the police station and for decorations. I know Joe has a couple out there and David has a couple out there, so I just want to thank everybody. I'll try to get an update on our grants by the next board meeting. If anybody has any additional ones that haven't been updated, please update the spreadsheet. Otherwise, I'll have a full report on our grants so far this year by the next board meeting. And that's all I have this evening, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to department heads, Chief Hotwagner.
Yes, sir. I'll just jump on what Trustee Crowley said. Deputy Chief McClellan did receive a grant for stair chair for half the cost, and IPMG is going to meet the other half the cost. So it's like $15,000 total. I think we'll have like a $200 balance we have to pay. But thanks to Joe, he did a great job on that.
And you also applied for the second one, right?
Yes, we applied for a second one. We're starting that now for the small equipment grant with the State Fire Marshal's Office for a second one. And that'll be, if we get that's award, it's 100%. We'll match. And that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Chief Delaney.
Yes, sir. Just one thing. Every year, the Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists recognizes officers with a certificate of appreciation for outstanding DUI enforcement. This year, they issued certificates of appreciation to 4 of our officers, and I just want to recognize them tonight. Officer Ricardo Correa, Officer Ricardo Velez, Officer Antonio Estrella, and Officer Jessica Catugno for their outstanding DUI enforcement last fiscal year.
Well done.
That is all I have.
Thank you, sir. Superintendent Kanaka.
I'll keep this short. I had a list of things that we're going to discuss over the next couple of weeks of changing some zoning and some codes the village has, just kind of tweaking them a little bit. So the trustees will be getting an email in the next few days with certain things for discussion. Any feedback from the trustees is more than welcome on these subjects. So there's about 15 items in here. Any feedback is more than welcome. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Superintendent Sperry.
Nothing tonight, sir.
Sir. Engineer Plata.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to let everybody know that we're going to be getting started on the lead service line replacement project probably within the next month. We had already had our pre-construction meeting a couple days ago with the Calumet City Plumbing, and notices should be going out to all the residents within the project area this week. And we've scheduled an open house for August 28th, which is the next board meeting, and we're going to do it before then. We're going to start at 5:30. And that's all I have.
So David, are residents welcome to come to this open house?
Yeah, anybody can come, but it's probably going to be mostly good information for the people who are actually within the project area.
And their letter's going to say that?
The letters will only go to the people in the project area. That's all I have.
Am I required to, we approve this bid award for the street resurfacing, aren't I required to read out loud? It doesn't say who.
I was thinking that myself.
Was it in the?
Who we awarded the bid to?
I've got the information here in front of me if we want to read it into the record now.
We awarded this bid. Am I not required to read it out loud? Like who?
Yeah, then the proper way would be to yes, to disclose it was.
All right. The 2023-2024 MFT CDBG resurfacing program, the project was awarded to Gallagher Asphalt Corporation from Thornton at a price of $922,475.50, and they were the low bidder. So just thought I should have to read that. So you were correct. And this will be starting right away, the road resurfacing?
Contracts usually take a few weeks, but yeah, we'll get going on that as quick as we can.
And is there a map online to Dennis Berry that shows which streets?
I actually just sent an email to myself to put that on tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I couldn't finalize it until we got the bids in to see where it takes streets off. I don't want to crush everybody's hopes. Another caveat to that is that some of the streets have lead water service lines that are in this project. So the plumbing contractor agreed to hit those first, get those new lines in first, and then we'll follow up with paving afterwards. So,
Good idea.
So we don't have to vote on that?
We did.
Oh, so that's what you're doing?
It just, on the consent agenda.
It was on the
it's
consent
just-
agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It just didn't specify who
Sorry.
the winner was.
Okay, that's it.
Yep.
Deputy Clerk Harris.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Director Redmond.
Just two quick items, keeping with the theme of grants. An application was submitted today to the EPA for the water main replacement on Pulaski. That grant is for $1 million with the $200,000 match. The project will be funded by September 30th, with construction starting in July of 2025. The second item is field work for the FY24 audit has started. The auditors were out on Monday and Tuesday of this week. They will be back on tomorrow and then again 3 days next week. The time that they're not here physically, they are back at their office working on our audit. So it's looking promising. And that's all I have tonight, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Director Redmond, could you do me a favor? Could you do an update on our ARPA funds and what we've spent and send it out to the ARPA group by the next meeting so that we can make sure that we're on track with our ordinance?
Absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am. Attorney Valdez.
Yes, well, keeping with the weirdness of the evening and the data, I believe we may have to make a correction with regard to one of the consent agenda items regarding, and I'll defer to the village engineer regarding the title of the resolution.
Item number 1.
Yeah.
So the section number is correct. The year is correct, just for full disclosure. These funds have already been spent. This is just a paperwork thing with IDOT. But the location is definitely incorrect. It was a project that did various streets all over town.
So just strike the,
I would say,
it was 143rd Street between Cicero Avenue and Pulaski included? It was not?
No.
we just
Okay,
did
then-
that.
Okay.
I think you could, I think you could just take off starting at pertaining and going to the end.
Okay.
Because the project was the 2022 street resurfacing program.
Okay, so then we would need a motion to simply strike the words after the numerical number 00RS, the words being pertaining to the resurfacing of 143rd Street between Cicero Avenue and Pulaski Road. We need a motion to strike that from the resolution.
Is there something else going in its place?
No. No, that's, I try and be as specific as possible so that when the board references back to these resolutions and ordinances, they don't have to do any further reading to know what it's talking about. Unfortunately, in this case, I took the engineer's title, tried to be more specific and missed the boat, so.
How do we feel about the words "so moved"?
I'll second.
Motion and
There's a motion in a second.
And to clarify, the motion is to strike the words as.
I'll make the motion.
Right, I made the motion.
I already did.
Is that clear enough for you?
So did he.
Oh.
No. What we're
Yes.
voting on?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, roll call, please, Clerk Hospital.
Trustee Burbatt.
Aye.
Trustee Hilly.
Aye.
Trustee Caveney.
Aye.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Killily.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
And with that, that's all I have.
Thank you. That didn't make anything weird at all.
I believe it's the first time I've made a motion, so that's
With so moved, for sure.
We'll check the record on
It's worth it just for that.
that. Just keeping in the fun of the weekend, besides the village picnic on Sunday, the VFW is also having a picnic in their parking lot on Saturday. So if you guys are available, be a good weekend. So that's all I have. Clerk Moss.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you, sir. Seeing as no further business coming before the board, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
I don't have any motions